Hello to all of my peeps. It's so good to see you here today from my chair, episode 82. And I have sad news for you today. I brought along a friend, yes, Kitty Bug. She's gone. I'm so sorry. I tried my best to keep her alive. Mom always said if there's still green, then there's life in it. Well, Mama, there's no green. It's all brown. The succulent is gone. I think I overwatered it, which she told me not to overwater it, but I think I did, and then I tried to revive it, and it just didn't work. So my first failure, So I'll replace it. I'll replace it. But no, Mama, there's not any green in there, so I'm going to get rid of it. And but oh, Kitty Bug, I'll get another one. Succulents are just hard. Chicken Nugget's doing really well, but that one just did not. Let's jump into this. Last week, I introduced us to 9 different personality boxes. I trust that you have been thinking about where you fit in this. And if you did what I did, you're probably thinking about which box your peeps fit into also. As we study these, let me just say this, as we study these, you're going to be tempted to put children in these personality boxes also. And again, when they begin to establish their personality in elementary school, in middle school and high school and things like that, I understand that. And but from what I've studied, it's best not to put them or place them in their actual personality boxes until around 18. So just kind of keep that in mind. Now, as a Christian educator, I've been doing this for 25 years. I mainly deal with middle school and high school students. I'll just put it this way. I wish I would have known all of this stuff a long time ago. I really do. I wish I would have known about all these personalities a long time ago, because the information that we're going to discuss is so valuable, especially with one-on-one communications between parents and students and teachers. So very important. So all that to say this, let's wait till they're around 18 or so to put them in their personality box. But allow the information that over the next several weeks, allow the information to shed some light and to give some wisdom on what they may need from you, because every box needs something different from you. Now, let's jump in and start tackling this first box. Now, I know you're thinking, like, why are we starting with this one? You are just supposed to start with one. I know. Just trust me on this. Just trust me. We didn't need to start with the first box. The 1 box. We needed to start with the 8 box, the Challenger box, the Bull Destroy the box. And just trust me, you'll understand why as we go along. I found a quote, and I love it, that really does a really good job in explaining the 8 boxes. It's from General Patton, General George S. Patton. He described it very well in his quote when he said, "Lead me, follow me, or get out of my way." Such a great quote. And that really does fit the 8 box personalities. Lead me, follow me, or get out of my way. Kind of keep that in mind as we go through. So, what is it like to live inside of this box? What's it like to live inside of an 8 box? Let me say this, and again, I'll take each number and each box and open it up and let us look inside and see what it's like to live inside of those. But I do need to give credit where credit's due. My sources, my information, what I've studied, the things I've studied, the things that have helped me so much come from these 2 books. The Road Back to You by Ian Crone and Suzanne Stabile, and The Path Between Us by Suzanne Stabile. And I love those books, and much of our information and our study doesn't just come from just random internet sources, which I will cite those too, but they come from these 2 books, and I want you to know that. If they're quotes from them, I will put them in quotation marks, and just to make sure that you know where they came from. So, what's it like to live inside the box? Are you ready? Here we go. Number 1, I have been told that I'm too blunt and aggressive. Now again, I'm not in an 8 box. I'm not in an 8 box. But I want us to look at that, and I'm gonna tell these like I am, so that you can kind of see what it's like. I'll do it in first person. I have been told that I'm too blunt and too aggressive. So number 2, I enjoy a good verbal skirmish just to see what others are made of. Yes. And 8 boxes, they enjoy it. They enjoy a good verbal skirmish just to see what everybody else is made of. Number 3, I make decisions fast and from the gut. I make decisions fast and from the gut. 8 boxes do that. Number 4, I welcome opposition. Bring it. That's their personality. I welcome the opposition. Come on, bring it. And that's a very, very interesting personality for them. Number 5, they have no problem with no. They have no problem saying no. Saying no is not a problem for those in the 8 boxes. Number 6, and again, I'm going to give you 10. There are a bunch more in the resource material, but I'm going to give you 10 each week. And and if you want to study some more, you can go look at it. But number 6, I don't like it when people beat around the bush. Don't beat around the bush with an 8-box personality. They like you to get to the point, straight to the point. Don't waste their time with a bunch of frou-frou and frothy stuff. I don't like it when people beat around the bush. Come to them straight. Number 7, I have no problem confronting a bully. I like this one. Bullying is just such a problem right now in our school systems, even Christian schools. Even in our youth groups, bullying is horrible, and I hate it. Cyberbullying, all of that, I don't like it at all. It's not Christ-like behavior at all. And but an 8-box, they have no problem at all confronting a bully head on, and I love that type of personality about an 8. Number 8, I love this. They can sniff out people's weaknesses the first time they meet them. I can sniff out people's weaknesses the first time I meet them. Don't try to lie to them. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But they can sniff out the weaknesses. They don't like weaknesses. I'm just telling you. Number 9, I'm wary of people who are super nice. They are. They're wary of people who are super nice. And number 10, I love this one. If God wanted people to wear their hearts on their sleeves, He would have put it there. 8 boxes do not like it when your heart's on your sleeve. In fact, they try to knock it off. They try to knock off that heart, those feelings, those emotions off your sleeves. If God wanted people to wear their hearts on their sleeve, He would have put it there. So that's a really good description. 10 things, 10 ways, peering into their box of how they behave. Now, every week after I tell you what's in their box, what it looks like, I'm going to give you their talk style. So their talk style is very commanding. They have a very commanding talk style. Those who live in the 8 box, they enjoy speaking in imperatives. They enjoy the imperatives. Most of what they say, as you can see on the slide, it ends in exclamation points. Exclamation points. So yes, very commanding. That's their talk style. Imperatives, lots of exclamation points. They get a thrill out of confrontation and will argue their position and opinions until the cows come home. I'm just saying. They sure will. They get a thrill out of it. They do not stop. They come back for more. They don't want to lose. In fact, one of the quotes from the book, it says this: they hate to lose more than they love to win. They do. It's so true. They can start an argument about anything, anytime, anywhere, with anyone, and they want you to argue with them. They want you to. They can be in a house all alone and want to argue and find a way to argue. Eight boxes love to argue. Start those, and they want them. They want you to argue with them. If you live in this box, you have a very difficult time trusting anyone. Yeah. You have a very difficult time trusting anyone. There's always a feeling of being betrayed. That knife in the back. You're always afraid of that, which is why it's so difficult to see the softer, more tender side of the one who lives in the Challenger box, the 8 box. They're so nervous and fearful that somebody's going to betray them that it's hard to get them to trust you and to see that softer heart. They have an intense energy wherever they go, intense energy. They are not equipped, my NASCAR fans, they are not equipped with restrictor plates. They are wide open all the time, lots of energy. If you're one of my cooking peeps, they do not have a slow cook setting on a crock pot. No. and they don't have the slow cook setting. They want to go all the way open, wide open. I love this next one because I love football. Me and my family, we love football. We're Georgia Bulldog fans. This next slide is the best visual way that I can describe their personality. Are you ready? And it's not the person being tackled, it's the person tackling. It's a defensive line tackle. When that ball is snapped, boom, it's on like Donkey Kong. Full throttle, full of energy. Here we go. Let's go. Let's tackle it. Let's go. That's an 8 box right here. That's an 8 box. But as we go through these, I'm going to let you peer into the box to kind of describe their personality. Every person, every box has a primary struggle. I'm gonna open that up for you. You're not gonna like them. 8s are not gonna like theirs. I don't like mine either, because it peels off your why. It peels off who we truly are and what we really struggle with deep down inside. So you ready? For 8, the 8 box, the primary struggle for those who have this type of personality is lust. But wait. Not the lust that you're thinking about. It's a lust for intensity. Intensity. It's a lust for an overabundance of anything. Overeating, over-talking, overdoing, over everything, overspending. They have a lust for intensity. They have a lust for overabundance of anything. A lust for everything to line up just perfectly, just right. I can feel that, and you'll see when you get to the 1 box. They want everything to go their way, exactly their way. And when it doesn't, they display their, what we call a go-to emotion. Okay? So every week, I'm going to show you and uncover the primary struggle, and I'm also going to uncover the go-to emotion. Every one of us have a go-to emotion, that first emotion that we lean towards every time something goes wrong. We call it in stress. In stress. So in stress, when something goes wrong, their go-to emotion is external anger. Not just anger, because there are other boxes that have anger, and we'll talk about those. But there's this external anger. They show it outwardly, show their anger. In fact, the way they see the world is not ready, aim, fire. My fellows are hunters, and they're killing deer right now for me. I love it. But it's ready, aim, fire. If you live in this box, this is not your mantra. This is not you. Yours is, the way you work is fire, aim, ready. That's how you work. That's how you roll. Fire, aim, ready, instead of ready, aim, fire. When a woman is in this box and when she's stressed, she's often bossy and very blatant about things. I'll give you some illustrations here. And again, I need to preface this by saying, and I've already told you, I've been in Christian education for over 25 years. I've been doing bus routes and working with teenagers and young adults, and I've been doing this for over 30 years. So I've got to pull from illustrations from all types of people in my realm of existence. So I'm going to do that with these 9 boxes. I remember one time I got a phone call from a parent, and she lives in an 8 box. She's an unhealthy 8 box, and she was hot to trot. Woo, mercy sakes! I had said something in the classroom that her child repeated, and I don't know if it just didn't get repeated properly. You've all been there before. My educator peeps, you've been there before, haven't you? And they're like repeating something. Like, wait, that's not what was said. It did not matter. It did not matter. I mean, from the get-go. I apologized right at the beginning when I realized how angry she was and how aggravated she was, and she was just hot to trot about stuff. And I apologize. I am so sorry. This was received all wrong. And I mean to tell you, she would not stop. I had the phone out like this. I mean, I was being just dressed down, just thrown under the bus, getting yelled at and fussed at. And I'm just like, I can't do this. In my mind, I'm thinking, wait. I can't. So what I did was, I held the phone out away from my ear, and in the sassiest, but the trying to be kind and sweet, the loudest, kindest, sweetest, sassiest voice I could. I know, put all that together in a ball, right? I held the phone out, and again, she's just a-going, just a-fussing like you would not believe. I said, "Excuse me, did you forget who you were talking to? You're not going to speak to me like this. You're not going to speak to me like that. I am your child's teacher." That's exactly how I said it. "I am your child's teacher. I love them every single day, and I invest my whole life into them. I'm not going to continue to allow you to speak to me like I am garbage, like I'm a piece of trash. I've already apologized for how my words were received. If there's anything else, you can call the principal and take it up with him." Click. And that's how it ended. Watch. Watch. Bottom line, I was not going to win. Bottom line, I had already apologized. I had already humbled myself in the best way I knew how. So I met her toe to toe. It's like, okay, if you don't stop talking to me like this. I've done my due diligence. I've apologized even though I really didn't know what I was apologizing for. It got all misunderstood. I was misquoted. And you are attacking my character and my personality and my whole livelihood. No, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. I was not going to win. But the thing is, the longer I let her dress me down, the more it tore me apart inside. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't take it anymore. Couldn't handle it anymore. And that's how it was handled. The 8 box. You can go toe to toe with them, and they like it, but they have to win. They have to win. Another illustration. I was on an activity one time with a bunch of older teenagers, and an 8 box fella. He decided to prop his feet up in a spot where there was going to be food. Food was fixing to be brought out. As the 1 box perfectionist and the authority at the activity, one of the authorities at the activity, I saw it, and I walked over and I just tapped his leg, and I'm like, now, let's not put our feet where food's going to be. Did he put them down? Yes, he did. He did. Only long enough to grab a napkin, put it on the place where the food was supposed to be, put the napkin down, and spread it out, and then put his feet back in the same spot. Yeah, but with a napkin underneath it. I shook my head, honestly. I just shook my head and waited for a more forceful, demanding voice to make it happen. I wasn't in the mood to just battle and go head to head with it. That's an 8 box. That's an 8 box. Listen to this amazing analysis for those who live in the 8 box, and I quote from one of my sources. 8s don't feel like they have to be the person in control. They just don't want to be controlled. Did you get that? Did you understand it? Let me say it again. 8s don't feel like they have to be in the person in control. They just don't want to be controlled. If you're not in this box, then you're probably asking yourself, why? Why, Miss Hedge? Why are they the way they are? Why are they like this? And let me just say this, okay? Everyone has their issues. When we get to yours, when we get to mine, we're gonna have our issues too. And guess what? Everybody else is asking that same exact question about you. Why in the world are they the way they are? Oh my word! They're going to be asking the same things about you. And I'm gonna tell you why. The primary why for this box in particular is vulnerability. Vulnerability. They do not want to be seen as weak and vulnerable. They don't want to be seen as weak and vulnerable. They work hard to ignore their softer feelings and emotions. Something that has helped me deal with this personality is a line that I read in the book recently, The Path Between Us, by Suzanne Stabile. She said this: it can feel like 8s don't care about us. But the fact is, they simply aren't thinking about us. They are thinking about what needs to be done next. Did you catch that? Let me read it again. It can feel like 8s don't care about us. But the fact is, they simply aren't thinking about us. They are thinking about what needs to be done next. Okay, so we've opened the box. We've looked inside to see what it's like to live in there. We took a painful look at their primary struggle, lust, overabundance, lust for intensity. That's their primary struggle. That's your primary struggle, living in an 8 box. We studied and looked at your go-to emotion, external anger. I gave you some illustrations of 8s that I've encountered. I gave us a why and why they are what they are. Now, let me talk directly to those of you who are sitting in this box. One of the things that you're going to need to know and learn if you do desire to grow, if you want to live peaceably with all men, if you want to be all things to all men, then you must stop allowing your primary struggle to drive your personality. Did you understand that? If you want to grow, path to growth, if you want to grow, then you must stop allowing your primary struggle to drive your personality. We'll put it like this. Stop giving your lust for intensity and overabundance the keys to drive you. Stop giving your lust for intensity and overabundance the keys to drive you. What is happening is what you see as energy and power and intensity, other people see as intimidation and bullying. They do. Not everyone enjoys a good argument. I'm just saying. Not everybody enjoys a good argument. If you're friends with or married to or work with a 9 box, the peacemaker, and we'll study about them next week, but she does not want to argue. She does not want to argue. And more times than not, you're going to find her in tears if and when she's done interacting with you. She doesn't want to argue. I don't want to argue. I don't want to go I will if I need to, but I don't want to go toe-to-toe with you. And it will affect me for days if I do. And you love it. You can move on. We can't. Not everybody can handle it that way. But what happens is you're pushing away an amazing, fulfilling relationship. If the goal is growth, so that what are some things that you can do to grow? Okay, I want to grow. In my box, I want to grow. I want to be more like Christ. I want to live peaceably with all men. I want to be all things to all men. So, okay, Ms. Evans, what do I have to do to grow? Are you ready? You're not going to like it. You're not going to like it. Just like I didn't like mine when mine came up. I don't like mine either. But I want to grow. So here we go. I want us to take our Bibles, turn to 2 Corinthians chapter 12. This verse right here, it needs to be on a card. This piece of a verse needs to be on a card and placed in several different positions within your day. For when I am weak, then am I strong. 2 Corinthians 12:10b. For when I am weak, then am I strong. You don't want to hear it, do you? You don't want to. I know. I feel you. I get it. For when I am weak, then am I strong. That's a path to growth. You've got to learn that verse, and that has to be a part of you. Put it up on a card and put it in multiple places. Number 2. You're not going to like this one either. Accept that you're not always right. Accept the fact that you're not always right. There are other people that are going to be right, and sometimes you're going to be wrong. You are. Sometimes you're going to be wrong. You're going to have to learn to accept that. Number 3, you can't solve every problem with action and strength. No, not every problem needs to be solved. Especially in a marriage, be real careful with that. Not every problem can be solved with action and strength. You can't solve every problem like that. Number 4, I love this one and you're not going to like it. Moderation, moderation, moderation. And again, I'm taking these from my resources. But Philippians 4:5, let your moderation be known unto all men. The Lord is at hand. That Greek word for moderation means gentleness. Yeah, gentleness. It means to be mild. Moderation, moderation, moderation. You want to grow? Keep that in your mind. Keep that in your mind. Number 5, don't judge yourself or others as weak for sharing tender feelings. It takes courage to drop your guard. It takes courage to drop your guard. But don't judge yourself or others as weak for sharing tender feelings. Allow people to share their feelings with you, and you be okay with sharing those feelings with other people. Being vulnerable does not mean that you are weak. Did you hear me? Being vulnerable does not mean that you're weak. Number 6, you can't always lead. Oh, that hurts, didn't it? You can't always lead. You must learn to follow another leader gracefully. Take your Bible. I've been enjoying studying the book of Titus. Titus chapter 3. Ran across these verses just a few days ago, and I thought, this is good. This is good for the 8 box. Titus chapter 3, verse number 1. Put them in mind to be subject to principalities and powers, to obey magistrates, to be ready to every good work, to speak evil of no man, to be no brawlers, but gentle, showing all meekness unto all men. I also, Hebrews 13:17, had this verse come to my mind. Obey them that have the rule over you, and submit yourselves. Why? For they watch for your souls, as they that must give account, that they may do it with joy and not with grief, for that is unprofitable for you. You've got to be able to trust some other leadership. Trust other people. Follow them gracefully, because you can't always lead. Number 7, you can be in leadership positions if you have people who are willing to follow you, and that requires respecting how they see the world. Not everybody sees the world like you see the world. You're going to have to respect that. You want to grow? Do you want to grow? Do you want to be all things to all men? Live peaceably with all men? You can lead people, and they will follow you. Following and aid, it's easy because they're such good leaders. But we're going to have to learn to respect how those other people, how those followers respect how they see the world, because it's not always like you see the world. Number 8, accept that you can't guarantee the outcome. You don't like that either, do you? But you're going to have to learn it to grow. It's the path to growth. I want to grow, Miss Edge. I want to grow. Gary, you're going to have to accept the fact that you cannot guarantee the outcome. Number 9, you thrive on stress, but other people don't. You thrive on it. You love it, Miss Edge. I do not like stress. I do not like it at all. Our box for next week, they're not going to like stress either. Not everyone likes stress like you like stress, 8 box. And you need to understand that. Not everybody likes stress. Number 10, accept that there's something bigger than yourself to focus on. You do focus a lot on yourself. Some of these boxes, they don't focus on themselves at all, and that is a problem. But you focus on yourself a whole lot. Me, I. You know what? You're going to need to learn to accept that there's something bigger than yourself to focus on. That is so vital. There are a lot of trustworthy, listen to me, there are a lot of trustworthy people in the world. Not everyone is out to betray you. Not everyone is out to put a knife in your back. They're not. But listen to me, if they do, you're going to be strong enough. You will. You'll be strong enough to handle it. But don't allow the fear of being betrayed to keep you from loving and from connecting with people emotionally. Don't let that fear stop you from really good relationships. Don't let that fear of that knife in the back or from being betrayed or being pushed over the ledge, don't let that fear stop you from sharing your heart and showing the softer side. You do have an amazing heart. Such a loving, giving heart. But a lot of times, you'll keep that. And you'll put up this strong exterior like you're amazing, you can't mess up, you're amazing. That it's hard for people to get through that tough exterior to see your heart. But you really do have a soft, compassionate, loving heart. Get you a few. Get you a few. Take the risk. Take the risk of revealing that amazing soft heart that you have. Let me conclude this box, and I'll conclude every box like this, with the amazing things. What amazing things do 8 boxes give us? Okay, here we go. You ready? When they love you, They love you deeply, like as in they protect you at all costs. They'll take a bullet for you. If they love you, and if you're part of their peer group, if you're part of their family, they will protect you at all costs, as in pushing you out of the way, and they'll take the heat. They don't want you to hurt. They don't want you to get hurt and things like that. They want to protect you at all costs. I love this, they want their inner circle peeps to be cared for and doted on. They want their inner circle peeps, they want them cared for, they want to dote on them. I watched one of my 8 peeps take one of their peeps to the Walmart and just dote on them big time. Big time for really no reason. I loved it. I stood back and I watched, and I'm like, oh my word, that's such an amazing thing from an 8-box. An 8 personality. They will dote on you. They will give you the shirt off of their back. But they have to want to give it to you. You can't make them give it to you. But they do. They love who they love, and they protect and they dote. I love this. I love this right here. Now, when there's a game to be played, I want to be on your team. I want to be on an 8's team. The Challenger box. I want to be on your team because we are unstoppable. I want you to pick me. Pick me. We are unstoppable if I am on your team. And you're such a good leader. And I want to be on your team. They really do have a tender, loving heart. And they really are fun to be around, especially when they're in healthy spaces. When I'm with an 8 peep, I just sit back and let them tell the jokes. I let them work the room, as you call it. I let them work the room. I just kind of sit back and enjoy myself and enjoy their company and their outspokenness and their fun. They're funny. They love to tell jokes. They love to laugh. They're great entertainers. It takes the pressure off of me when they're in healthy spaces. I really enjoy being around an 8-box. They're really fun. I love this one. What amazing thing do they bring to the world? They fight for justice. They fight for justice. Injustice bothers them to the core. Let me just give you a little hint here. When you approach an 8-box, you better go with truth. They'll sniff out a lie a mile away. Don't come to them with a lie. They want honesty. They want truth. Go to them with truth. Meet them with truth. They love truth. Truth must win. And they will fight for that truth. They want justice. And they do not like injustice at all. Most 8s are amazing leaders, and others very easily follow them. I love 8s. They have such a confidence and strength in battle. In a battle, seriously, I want to be behind an 8. They will take all the heat. They'll take all the arrows. They'll put out that shield and they will push me back. And I love that. I love that about my 8 peeps. Matthew chapter 5. I was reading and studying some things. Matthew chapter 5 ran across this. In fact, me and one of my family members were talking about these blesseds as Jesus gave them. And I love this one. And Matthew chapter 5 verse number 11. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my name's sake. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. I love that as my nephew and I were talking about this. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. It's like, come on, bring it. I don't mind. Revile me. Say all manner of evil against me. Come on, bring it. That's like an 8-box. I love it. Here, I'll take it for you. Get behind me. I'm going to take this for you. Let me say this. An 8-box is an amazing prayer warrior because they are relentless at taking things to God for you. I want an 8 praying for me. Because they will go to God over and over and over and over with all that strength and intensity of asking and begging God. I want an 8 praying for me. Some amazing things happen. That personality can be used for such amazing things for Christ if we'll tap into those healthy spaces. But I will say this, remember when it comes to relationships and dealing with people, for when I am weak, then am I strong. For when I am weak, then am I strong. You have so much to offer the world. So much to offer the world. Stop allowing your primary struggle, that lust for intensity, to have the keys to drive your personality. I know. You are who you are. I get it. And as a one-box perfectionist, a healthy 8 is a breath of fresh air for me. They are. They can tell me what needs to be done quickly. It's like a wedding coordinator I met recently. Get this done. This is on my list. Do this. This needs to be done. This needs to be done. I love that. I love that. High energy. Let's go. Here's the list. We got to get it done. Come on, come on, come on. I love that. They're obsessed with truth. I love that. I love truth, as you'll find out. They can handle any problem that comes their way. They don't get razzled by it. But when you are in unhealthy spaces in your box, I will go toe-to-toe with you about my opinions, but it's exhausting. It's exhausting. And afterwards, it's going to bother me for hours and even days, because watch, you move on, but I don't move on. You say it and you're done. I listen and I'm just stunned. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? Yeah, my illustration. I'm in pastor's office sobbing for a half an hour because you just dressed me down. You just argued with me, and I'm like, what the world? What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? Well, I didn't deserve that. But what happens is you risk me not coming back for more of the same. Yeah, you risk me not coming back because I can't go toe-to-toe with you all the time and enjoy your company and enjoy the relationship. So let's be careful. I will do what I need to do and be who I need to be to live peaceably with you and be what you need for me to be. But, can I say this? Could you make it a little bit easier for those of us in your life who are trying to love you well? Could you make it just a little bit easier for us that are trying to love you well? As I go through these things, I've shown you the box that you're in. Feel free to get out of it. Feel free to get out of the box that you're in and give God permission to bring amazing and lasting change to your life. You've got to let Him. God, I don't like this about me. Help me to change it. That's what I had to do. When I found out all of the unhealthy spaces and things and the struggles, the unhealthy struggles and the go-to emotions, I'm like, woo, Lord, you're going to have to change some things. Please, Lord, change me so that I can live peaceably with all men and I can be all things to all men. Now, next week, we're going to discuss the 9 box. I know, a totally different personality than what we studied today, but you're going to enjoy it. You're going to like it. If my box will please you, then you can have my box. That is totally opposite of the bull destroyed the box. I'm just saying. But let's pay attention to these, the peacemaker box, and that's next week. And just hang with me as we go through these and study them. Pay attention to our personalities, to those around us, so that we can be better fit for Christ and His service and helping people and serving people. Don't forget, Lydia at 11 with leukemia. Now go be amazing today.